Hey, I'm not a vlogger, an influencer, or a podcaster. There are no ads, sponsors, or endorsements on any of this. The views, clicks, and impressions on this content have no bearing on my life. I am not a business. I'm not trying to sell you anything. This is just an academic exercise. Welcome to the next episode of Last Week in UTS, where I discuss things that I did last week. All right, I went to the airport and it was a very interesting trip. I actually went through several airports and I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. This is a lot of information, so I might have to break this up into 2 episodes. Let's get started. First thing, I get to the parking lot. And now when you go into the parking lot, if you reserve or even if you don't reserve, your license plate is getting read. If you look at this machine here, what it does is it allows you to find your car when you get back really easily in case you forgot where you parked. The other thing is you could find anyone's car. That's not a good thing for me if I have some sort of stalker, something to take into consideration. Next, after you've parked your car, you have to check in. But did you know that even check-in processes for a lot of major airlines, in this case specifically Delta and United, are starting to incorporate facial recognition, fingerprints, and other biometric data into the check-in process? Right now, it's optional and meant to expedite your airport experience, but pretty soon, in my opinion, it might be mandatory. And this isn't really just going to expedite your experience, it is going to expedite their data gathering, processing, and it's going to enable the Matrix and Skynet, as we've discussed in previous videos. So now that you've already given up all of your biometric data, just at check-in, you've given up your license plate when you're parking, now you have to just get to security. Even getting to security is going to be a pain. As you see here in some airports, just to get on the tram, you have to scan your boarding pass. And if you look at this piece of hardware here that I took a picture of, I noticed that there was a camera in there and that there were other things that could possibly gather up more data. So you're not just scanning your boarding pass to get onto this tram, you're giving up a whole lot more potentially. Now you've gotten on the tram after you've checked in and parked your car, you have to go through security. There are some options to go through security. You could sign up for something awesome like, all you have to do in order to skip the line is give up your iris, your fingerprint, your face scan, your license, your data, your blood sample, and everything else under the sun. The interesting thing with these is that they're actually linked to commercial and possibly government data sets that are used to verify your identity. So all of these things that are already out there that a thief or identity theft person can use to make your life miserable are now combined with biometric data and stored in very similar databases. Sure, they're following industry best practices, they comply with all regulations, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think those regulations and industry best practices go far enough, and I am not comfortable having my data in any of these. Now that you've given up your information in order to bypass the line, you're done, right? You can go to your gate. No, because you still have to pass a government security checkpoint. You still got to pass TSA, which has now also started rolling out facial recognition and other biometric features to verify your identity, as you can see. Okay, you're finally airside. You got there 8 hours before your flight, and all you want to do is get some food. You just want to eat something. Let's go to the restaurant. Wait a minute, there's a QR code menu that you need for your restaurant? So you can't even order or look at a menu unless you scan a QR code. We already know about QR code jacking, but more importantly, what do you think happens when you click on the link? What I would suggest is that you click on that link from inside of an actual browser in which you can enable developer mode. Look at all of the network activity, look at all of the source that you can, and you're going to notice that you are getting aggregated on at various levels of the stack just by scanning that QR code. Once you scan the QR code, or maybe you don't need the QR code, let's just cover another option. Sometimes they have these tablets here. These tablets here look fancy. You type, you can order it. What could be going on there? Those tablets have cameras. Those tablets are now tying your order to your payment method, to whatever those cameras are looking at. They might be looking at whether or not you're enjoying the meal, how many people are there, are you looking down at your phone? And some of these tablets even have interactive games and different promotions that you can play. So you've just tried to get some food, and you either have to scan a QR code or use this tablet, or you have to try to be awkward and be a human like I am. I refuse to use these things. I would rather eat a sandwich from the freezer at one of those shelves. Wait a minute. Can I still buy those sandwiches? Well, yes and no, you could buy them, but now a lot of these stores are humanless. As you can see by this store, this is one of those grab and go Hudson News stores. There's no human in the loop. So I can't even go grab a sandwich and pay a human to get the sandwich. I have to give up all of my biometric data, electronic payment data, just to go into this store and get that really stale turkey sandwich that's been sitting inside its own juices for God knows how long. All right, Now I've had my meal at the airport because I'm airside, because I already had my license plate read at the parking lot. When I was checking in, I had all my facial recognition stuff. Just to get on the tram, I gave up my boarding pass and other things. Now I'm at security. I had to sign up for Clear, otherwise the line would have been too long. Even if I have Clear, I still got to go through TSA. Once I'm through TSA, I just want to eat something, and now I had to give up either a QR code, use a tablet, or all my facial data just to get in and get that $8 water at the little Hudson newsstand. All right. I just want to relax. You know what? Let me just go play some video games and relax at this nice little video game booth that you see here. What could go wrong?